What's up guys, my name is Clinton and welcome to my Skateboarding Master Class. Basically what I want to do with this is take my 17 years worth of skateboarding knowledge and hand them off to you because seeing other people progress and get better at skateboarding makes me just as happy as skateboarding itself. So before we get started, do me a favor and give this video a like and a subscribe, and then we'll give it a go. So have you ever seen someone skating around and they look super uncomfortable on their skateboard? They can push and they can roll, but they can look kind of rigid on their board. Kind of like their torso is stiff here, and then once they hop down and take a step, they do it really quick, so it's kind of like... Well, the reason they're doing that is because, sure, they may be able to roll on their skateboard, but they don't know how to shift their weight right. So what I mean by shifting their weight is being able to shift your weight from the back foot to the front foot like this. And by doing that, it allows you to have balance anywhere on your skateboard, not just directly in the center. So whenever you see someone taking a step like this, they're used to having their weight directly in the center of the board, but an experienced skateboarder knows how to shift their weight, and thus it looks a lot more smooth. So, the kind of standard go-to on the skateboard for weight distribution is you have your back foot on the top of the trucks, front foot top of the trucks, and then your weight directly in the center. But what I want you to do is learn how to shift your weight so that all your weight's directly above the back foot and above the front foot, and be able to hop back and forth just like this. And then by doing that, it kind of loosens you up. And let's say you jump on your skateboard and you're leaning too far like this. You're not going to slip out or, fall forward. You're going to be nice and balanced anyway. So go ahead and hop on your skateboard and just try doing that. Try shifting your weight from the front to the back and just learn how to be comfortable on the skateboard without falling over. You can do it as fast as you want to. So now that you feel pretty comfortable on your skateboard, it's time to start pushing. And to do that, what you want to do is while you're on your board, you're going to shift your weight onto the back foot. That way you can kind of free up some space so that you can manipulate this foot without a whole bunch of weight being on there. So what you'll do, weight on the back foot, and then you're going to move your foot to like a 45-degree angle here. We don't want it to be pointed too far forward, and we also don't want it to be sideways like this, or else it'll just be really awkward to push. So, 45-degree angle, we're going to shift our weight back onto the front foot, and then step off the board. So here is the important part. Once you're off the board, you want to have your torso pointed directly forward, because that's where we're headed. And then the actual push itself is like a push and a jump. And what I mean by that is we're going to use that force from the push to jump into the air and then put our foot right back on the trucks in the back. So it's all one motion, and it's kind of like this. So it's important to do this slow when you're first starting, because if you do it too fast, what you might end up doing is when you're bringing up your back foot, you might end up hitting the board itself on the way up, and that'll trip you up, and you'll end up being like something like this, where you might fall forward. So just take it nice and slow at first, foot 45-degree angle, pointed forward, jump, and then just transfer your weight back onto the top. Once you get more comfortable with doing it, you can do it quicker, but when you're first starting out, you want to try to avoid injury as much as you can, and we'll start with that. So once you get comfortable actually starting to push, I'm going to show you like a good foot placement for just maneuvering on your board in general. Like could just be rolling down the street or down a hill, whatever. There's like a nice solid point where you want your feet to be so that you can control your board and wherever you go. So what I do is I'm going to take my back foot off those back bolts. I'm going to put them just like right here in the pocket of this tail. And then I'm going to have my front foot kind of like a 45-degree angle like that. That way, I can use this back tail almost like a pivot point. So see, I want to move that way. I can put weight on my toes, lift up on my front, and then I'm heading that way. Or if I want to go that way, put weight on my heel, and it's going to maneuver me that way. And then with a pointed foot, I can just kind of also use it as a guide to kind of like tic-tac wherever I want to. And that's actually the next step, is learning how to tic-tac. And so to tic-tac, it's pretty much just as easy as I showed you. What you're going to do is have your weight, most of your weight, but not all of your weight, on this back foot here. You're going to put a little pressure on it and then quickly move the front foot left or right. And so as you may have noticed, whenever I tic-tac, the direction that I move my foot, my shoulders are going to move the opposite direction. That way I'm stable on my board. So if I'm moving my foot to the right, I'm going to open up my shoulders to the left. Or if I'm moving to the left, I'm going to open them to the right, just like this. That way you can keep your balance, and then you have full control. Alright, so I taught you guys how to be nice and balanced on your skateboard with your weight being able to shift. I taught you guys how to push on your skateboard, and I also taught you guys how to tic-tac. Now that's great and all, but once you pick up any decent amount of speed, you're going to need to learn how to stop on your skateboard. And there's 3 different ways to stop on a skateboard, but one of them is a little more advanced. We're going to save that for another time. And that one is the power slide, but you need to have a lot of control of your board to be able to do that. The other 2 ways are the gradual stop, where you just take your foot off and you just kind of like lightly graze it on the ground until you come on the stop. And then the other one is a little more abrupt. If you need to make a quick stop, what you do is you're going to take your back foot and put about half of it hanging off the back of the tail, and then you're going to slowly start to lean back. Not all your weight on the back of your foot, because if you're going super fast and you do this, it might shoot your board off and you might end up doing the splits. So just nice and gradual. You want to have maybe about let's say like 80% of your weight on the back foot, and then the other 20% is still going to be on this front foot, kind of controlling how much weight is being pushed onto the back foot. So I'll give you a couple examples. So here's the gradual one. Say you're not rolling too fast and you just want to come to a nice gradual stop. But just take your foot off and lay it on the ground. And then you can kind of gauge how much pressure needs to be on the foot for you to stop at the right moment. And then the other one, I'll show you right here. It's just a gradual slide on the ground like that till you come to a stop. Now that's the most important part of learning how to roll is stopping, I think, because I think the most common reason that people quit skateboarding is they get on the board, they're super excited, and they're rolling, and they get rolling down the hill, but they don't know how to stop. So they end up getting hurt, and then, you know, don't want to do it anymore. So we just want to avoid that. So this is super important to practice, and try doing it at different speeds so that you just get comfortable with it. So I'll do one really fast here. You can see how long it took me to stop. It's not an instant thing, you just want to be gradual with it. So, nice and stop exactly where I wanted to. So just practice doing that and then you should be good. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers all the fundamentals of rolling around on a skateboard. From this point, it's just a combination of all those things I taught you and practice. Because the more you practice it, the more comfortable you're going to look on your skateboard and the more comfortable it's going to feel. So, get out there, start pushing around, start stopping, start tic-tacking, and then I hope you have a good time. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button as well as subscribe and turn on the notifications, because I'll be posting a lot more videos here soon teaching you the fundamentals all the way up to the expert level. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.